Welcome back, dear listeners, to part two of our engaging podcast series, where we continue the remarkable discussion about the truly inspiring journey within Gymnastem. I am your host, Kathy Saw, and in this second installment, we will delve even deeper into the incredible story of Mariecell Fornis-Esguerra, a supermom and remote worker who has not only overcome significant challenges but has also thrived within our organization. So, just to give you a recap, we explored Genashtim's unwavering commitment to its people and the importance of empowerment, growth, and inclusivity in part one. Marisol's journey serves as a living testament to these core values, making her a symbol of resilience and determination. So now, as we venture further into part two, we'll uncover more about Marcel's experiences, the lessons she has learned, and the wisdom she has gained both as a dedicated mother and a remote worker. Her story is a shining example of how it's possible to balance the demands of family life while excelling in a remote work environment. So, let's pick up from where we left off. Welcome back, Maricel. So, we are not done with your story and we'll continue. How are you?
I'm good and I'm happy to be back.
Yes, we're excited to know more about your stories. Are you ready?
Yes, sure. I'm ready.
All right. Now, in your Ganache team journey, which is 13 years, what are the positions you have held so far, Maricel?
Yeah, in my 13 years, I started as the secretary of Thomas
Hmm.
for 2 years and 9 months.
Hmm.
And then after that, I moved as the HR manager. And this is where I stayed long. I think I was the HR manager for more than 7 years.
Wow.
And then right now, I'm handling DigiBridge, executive assistant, and
Hmm.
at the same time, communications partner for DigiBridge in marketing and corporate communications department.
Wow. So, yeah, I remember when I joined Ganache team, you were the HR manager at that time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
All right. So, among these roles, Maricel, what was the most challenging for you and what was the most rewarding?
The most challenging for me was, I think, being the HR manager because I became the HR manager even without HR background
Mm-hmm.
because I graduated as a bachelor in computer technology, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
really don't have any background or experience on human resource management.
So, you learned on the
I all
job.
yeah, but I learned more on the mentorship of Thomas. He really taught me on what to do here in HR. I stabilized some policies like the G Tribe. I was the one
Mm-hmm.
who's handling that on the
Wow.
first. When we established G Tribe, I was the one who's handling that. And I'm so happy that G Tribe is still until now.
Oh, yeah. So, that was the most challenging, but also the most rewarding.
Yeah. And then one also challenging in my work here is the technology because I'm using screen readers. So, and then applications and technologies are upgrading once in a while. Navigating using screen readers are very difficult. So, for example, before we are still using Skype to right now we are already using Teams.
Teams. Yeah.
So from Skype to Teams, I still need to familiarize myself using Teams. And before, I'm so slow in responding because I still need to find my way into that message. How could I do this? So it's also helpful because there were many colleagues here at Ginash team who are so very kind and helpful when you ask them some questions or some queries on how to do this using screen reader. They will really help you.
So I agree because the digital landscape continues to evolve because of all the
Yes.
advancements in technology, right? So, really need to be familiar with the tools that we're supposed to work with and also the programs, which is quite challenging because there are updates every now and then, as you've mentioned. You're
Mm-hmm.
right. All right. So, moving on, Maricel, you are currently working as the communications partner for DigiBridge. So you mentioned it earlier. What is the scope of your work now?
So for right now for DigiBridge, I was the one who's coordinating, monitoring, and managing DigiBridge Limited. So DigiBridge is a registered foundation. So this foundation, Ginash team helped to set this up. I'm also part of the marketing and corporate communications. I was the one who connect DigiBridge and Ginash team. So
Mm.
whatever Ginash team for DigiBridge, I'm the contact person. And then I'm also helping marketing department on the Jedi Jobs, the recruitment platform that we have.
So you're still quite busy. Aside from the DigiBridge, you also help out in the Jedi Jobs platform.
Yes, yeah,
Okay. The Jedi Jobs is powered by Genashtim, and it is a platform where employers and employees, especially people living with disabilities and other disadvantaged groups, can register and look for a job, right?
yeah.
Now, Maricel, how did Genashtim change or made an impact on your life? Because you've been here
Okay,
13 years. I'm sure there's a big impact on your life.
yes, it's really a big impact in my life because gymnasium was considered as one of my corporate experience. And then gymnasium, they honed me to become more productive and a valuable human being. Because gymnasium does not give me a career, they made the people around me realize that blind people can still have a successful career like anyone else in the world. Right now, I'm happy that I can contribute to my family, especially on the financial needs. I can say that disability is not really a hindrance to your success.
Yes. Well said,
Yeah.
Maricel. So actually, that is really the biggest impact that Ginash Team has on. You're correct. It gives equal opportunities for people with disabilities, for the blind, for those who are paralyzed or have mobility issues. Um, there's no discrimination. There's
Yes.
inclusivity. We're open to everyone, whatever gender, whatever nationality. As I've mentioned earlier, the commitment of Janashtim to people is not just mere lip service. They do really care for people, which is really amazing. What are the milestones or achievements that you have achieved while working in Janashtim, Maricel?
One of my greatest achievement here in gymnasium is I was able to sustain my work for 13 years here at gymnasium. And I was able to experience different roles. As I mentioned earlier, that I don't have any background. I just learned on the ground. And then I just honed my experience or through online courses or listening to podcasts or reading in some articles online. And then another achievement is I was able to travel abroad. I was representing Jenash in conference there in Myanmar, the inclusive business workshop. I met some different peoples with different disabilities there. I've also learned their challenges. I've known some people from Malaysia, Cambodia, and India. On that trip also, I was able to travel to Singapore and Malaysia. And in Malaysia, I was able to meet G, Raj, and Nadia. At that time, they are the ones who are in Jenash team. Because I think it was on 2014, I traveled to Malaysia. And
Wow.
we are still few at that time. And most of all, my one achievement is I was able to meet Jet here at Jenash team
Mm-hmm.
and find my true love and partner.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
So a lot of achievements and milestones. Yeah. So uh, definitely, Janashtim has opened the doors of opportunities for you. And I think another thing that we should also commend you is that thinking that we should always upskill ourselves. We shouldn't be complacent. We should always try
Yeah.
to learn more about things, either through online courses or even listening to podcasts and reading books or whatever. So just to enrich our skills, to know more about everything that's happening and with all the changes and advancements with the business landscape. Now, you mentioned that you've met Jet while working in Genashtem. Can you share with our listeners how your inspiring love story started? How did you two meet?
Okay. I started when I got a problem in my computer because my assistant before was McLean. And then I usually ask him for any problem in my computer. So at that time, McLean is too busy. So I just reached out to Avod online. When I messaged Avod online, it was Jet who assisted me to fix my computer. And after messaging in Able Online, he called me and then we started a conversation. And after that call, an endless call was happened. So we even talking on the phone or in Skype after work and even weekend. And then when I traveled in Manila, I visited him at that time also when he has some vacation. He also went here in Davao. Yeah. And then we got married on March 27, 2019. And right
Mhm.
now we already have two daughters. One, my eldest is 3 years old, and our youngest just turned one this month, September.
Wow. So basically, McLean was your Cupid because he wasn't available, that you
Yeah.
had to reach out to Abled Online. And then there you met
Yes.
Jet. Wow. And then you click.
Yeah.
Basically, you click because you said that after that, you became,
Yeah.
you communicated with each other. So maybe you felt comfortable and compatible. That's why it grew into a beautiful relationship. And now you have a lovely family with two beautiful daughters. Basically, you are a
Yes.
super mom. So, how do you balance everything now, Maricel, as a mother, as a remote worker, despite being blind?
Yeah, it's so difficult to manage your kids and you also have the disability and you're also working. So, for example, if I don't have helper here at home, I need to wake up early, especially right now that my eldest is already attending school. So, I need to wake up early to prepare her for school. I need to prepare her breakfast. Then I need to bath her, then change her clothes. At least I have my mother to send her off to the school. And then after that, I need to turn on now my computer to check some urgent messages and then reply to emails, messages in Teams, do some urgent tasks. And then after that, when my youngest wakes up, I will attend her again. So I need to feed her the breakfast and then bath her again, settle her. So it's either she will play here at room or someone else will be taking good care of her outside our house. And then back again in my computer to work, to do again the work that needs time. For example, in recording some datas in the Excel file or the research work, something like that, because I already have time. I already finished my urgent task. And then if I don't have any helper, I'm the one who needs to cook the lunch. So, for example, every Tuesday and Thursday, we have the touch base and round table. So, at 11 o'clock, um, sometimes I attend the calls via mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, while cooking lunch, while slicing the
Vegetables.
vegetables
Yeah.
or slicing the spices.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, after we have done the lunch, I go back to work again, do the things that needs time because I already have enough time on that. You already have the lunch, and my baby is already sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
and my eldest is already at home. She's already playing outside. Yeah. And then at
Oh,
night, when my computer turns off again, I need to prepare for dinner. At least I don't have to cook for dinner anymore because whatever our food at lunch, it's also the food that we have for
for
dinner.
dinner.
So
Yes.
I just have to, yeah, I just have to
Reheat it.
prepare yeah, preheat it. Yeah, and then bedtime. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's the day that I can rest.
So basically, it's a matter of time management and
Yes,
prioritizing things, right? To be able to
yes,
attend to
yeah.
everything. Yes, you are really a super mom. All
Yeah, it's
right.
just good that we are working from home.
Yes,
It's
correct.
one advantage that you are working from home. We can do everything.
Yes, I agree. Now, as a person with disability being blind, what are your hopes and dreams for society, for the community, and for Genashtim, Maricel?
Okay, for my hopes and dreams for the community, for PWD, for the country, and for Ginash team is inclusive society where PWDs can fully participate in all aspects in life. For example, accessible public spaces, job opportunities,
Mhm.
and reduce discrimination to marginalized community. And
Yeah.
then we can be more accessibility when it comes to physical buildings and websites, digital technology, where they can freely navigate without barriers. I also hope for accessible technology where we can have advancement of technologies so that we can have a quality of life for independence. This includes innovation in technology aids like the wheelchair, the crutches, the assistive device like screen readers. I just like to hope and dream that we can have a inclusive community, accessibility, and PWDs can have equal opportunities like other people.
Yes. I agree with that.
Yeah,
So, equal opportunities for all, including
yeah.
persons with disabilities and people from disadvantaged communities, to not experience any discrimination, especially with regards to work opportunities. All right, so we're now down to our last question. So, what is your advice or message, Maricel, for people living with disabilities, especially the blind out there?
My main message is you need to love and accept yourself first before others will love and accept you because it really started in yourself. People cannot accept you or love you if you're not accepting your disability. It's very hard for them to deal if you cannot also deal with yourself. So embrace your uniqueness, embrace your disability so that it would be easier for others to love and accept you. And then you need to educate yourself. You need to out from your comfort zone. Do not hesitate to ask questions or to ask help to others if you have some difficulties or you have some problems or questions. You need to reach out to others so that they can also help you in whatever you are having right now. Yeah,
Beautifully said, Maricel. So everything begins with oneself, right? If you
yes.
cannot accept your reality right now, how can other people accept it? So it really begins from oneself. And as I've mentioned, which is also related to what you said, it doesn't end with acceptance only. You have to do something. As part of accepting, then the next question will be, what's next? What can I do? What
Mhm.
other things can I do? Right? So that you can still contribute, you can still give, you can still share your talents. And you shouldn't be afraid, as you've said, to ask questions, to
Yes.
to let people know what you're going through, because then they will understand and then they will help. But also,
Uh,
you should also help yourself first. Yeah.
yes.
Yes. So that ends our podcast for today. Thank you, Maricel, for being a part of Empowering People Enabling Business podcast and for sharing your fascinating story of quiet strength, resilience, and determination. It was great having you.
I'm also honored to be here. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome. We look forward to more exciting things from you as your Ganache team journey is far from over. Surely our listeners will be inspired by your remarkable experiences. As we wrap up this two-part series, we encourage you to reflect on empowerment, inclusivity, and growth. Janashtim's dedication to its people is not just a concept, it's a living, breathing reality that drives our business forward. Again, if you're enjoying this podcast, be sure to hit that subscribe button to receive all of our latest episodes. In our next installment, we'll have a remarkable special guest who will be sharing his unique e learning journey and how he excels as a leader of a client support team despite being visually impaired. So, stay tuned and we'll catch you next time.